Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want you guys to come along with me and the boys for a family vacation to Puerto Rico. That's right, I'm taking my boys to San Juan, Puerto Rico to celebrate my birthday and just to take my boys on a trip. So I wanted to come and do this recap vlog for you guys to give you some tips and tricks on how to make your trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico kid friendly and affordable. We were searching for things to do. We had a very hard time finding family friendly activities, so I put together for you guys an entire itinerary to help make your travel to Puerto Rico a great time. So first things first, we flew on Spirit Airlines and it wasn't bad. We had a layover. It wasn't bad. I'm gonna give you guys some tips at the end on how to make it even better, but all in all, the flight was good. Our layover was about an hour, and so we landed in Puerto Rico. It took us about 6 hours to get there. We landed in Puerto Rico around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My son was a little bit confused. He asked me, was there a time zone shift? There is not a time zone shift if you're on the East Coast, okay? So we got there about 4:51 p.m. and we took a taxi from the airport to our hotel. It was about 10 minutes away, and taking a taxi was very easy. You'll see in a few seconds. I'll show you guys the ticket, but they actually have zones inside of San Juan, so depending on what zone you're traveling to, that's going to determine how much your taxi fare is. Our fare was about $21 to the hotel from the airport. A tip that I got later, which I definitely recommend for you guys, is if it is close, take an Uber, and if you're going somewhere far, take a taxi when in PR, okay? But all in all, it was not bad, and we made it to our hotel all in one piece. So we actually stayed at the DoubleTree, which was located inside of this beautiful plaza that you see us walking through right now. I pretty much loved everything about the hotel. The DoubleTree is actually one of our favorite brands to stay at. So first things first, I definitely recommend, if you haven't done so already, sign up for Hilton Honors Points. It's free to enroll, and if you stay at a Hilton resort between now and I think the end of September, you get 4,000 bonus points for staying. So this was one of the beautiful resorts that qualified. I actually found out about that later, but very kid friendly hotel. There were a lot of families staying here. As you can see, they have the shallow wading pool, the pool, and then up at the top, which you'll see in a second, they had a very beautiful jacuzzi. The hotel comes with a lot of amenities, warm chocolate chip cookies, of course, when we arrive. In addition to that, there was a restaurant inside of the hotel, which I'll talk about in a little bit. There's also a washer and dryer at this facility, and they give you free dryer sheets and laundry detergent when you request it. And it was just close to a lot of things. They have scooters available outside for rent, as well as bikes available for you to ride. And as you can see, we went outside the hotel when we first arrived. It just was very, very close to everything. There is actually a grocery store, supermarket, directly across the street from the hotel, which was super convenient, because even though I didn't take pictures of the rooms have refrigerators, microwaves. They also have safes inside of them. And we actually loved the rooms. The beds, we got a Murphy bed so that we were able to have more space inside of the hotel, or inside of the room. And all in all, like I said, I really enjoyed my stay at the DoubleTree San Juan. My children loved it as well. And as you can see, this was our first night there. They're just having a great time in the pool, chilling out by the pool. And so our first night here, we actually ordered poolside dinner service, which was very, very convenient. They brought the food out to the pool for us. The only feedback that I would have about the hotel restaurant was that it just was a little pricey in comparison to the other restaurants that were located nearby, but the food was pretty good, the drinks were pretty good, and if you don't feel like leaving the hotel, they do room service as well as poolside service and beach service, which I'll talk about later too. But yes, that's pretty much how we spent our evening. And then the next day, we went for breakfast to Condado Beach. And we ate at this really cool restaurant called Pinky's, which we didn't take any pictures, unfortunately. But we later found out there were a couple of Pinky's locations around. We loved everything about it. The food was really good. The only feedback that I would, or the only thing I just would tell you guys to keep in mind is if you have any dietary restrictions, just remember that Puerto Ricans cook with a lot of pork, okay? So remember that to ask, and you may have limited breakfast options, particularly if you don't eat pork breakfast. But it worked out okay for us. After breakfast, we actually took the hotel golf cart shuttle, which I love this amenity. They shuttled us to the beach, and when we were ready to go, they actually came back and picked us up. They have an employee stationed over at the beach that not only can take orders for you, can call and place orders for the hotel restaurant, again, which I love, but they also have umbrellas and lounge chairs available for you out there at no additional cost. It's all included in your stay. And these are just the beautiful views of the beach. We loved everything about it. This is actually Playa Condado. Very beautiful beach in Puerto Rico. So we spent most of the day at the beach, and as you can see, my children are just enjoying themselves. I'm a mom, so I do want to give you guys some tips for the beach, and these will be tips throughout your entire stay to keep in mind in Puerto Rico, because it is an island. It is not a lot of shade. So definitely make sure you wear sunscreen, you put sunscreen on your children, you reapply the sunscreen if they're going to be getting in and out of the water. Also keep in mind that there are no lifeguards on duty. We didn't see any lifeguards at any of the beaches that we went to, so that's just something to keep in mind. If your children are not experienced swimmers, you might want to keep them from going out far into the water because the waves were kind of rough. My big son George is an experienced swimmer, so he went out a little further than Josiah and I, but that's just something to keep in mind. Also, as I said, the grocery store being very close was super convenient for us, because even though the hotel restaurant did deliver over to the beach, which was convenient if you choose to do that, we felt like the stuff was kind of pricey for what we were getting, so we opted for bringing some snacks to the beach as well as juice and water, and we already had our own water bottles that we brought with us on the flight, so it all worked out really good. But all in all, my kids had a great time on the beach, and I love the fact that they provide the lounge chairs and they shuttle you. So now it's time for dinner. This was a restaurant that everyone kept recommending, and again, it was very close to the hotel. I believe it's called Besos. I'm gonna put a lot of links down in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. For dessert, we went to Cookie Plug, and my kids liked it. That was the most important part. Other than that, we had a pretty chill night. The kids went back to the hotel, got in the pool. This is our next day, and I'm glad having breakfast by the pool. They were at the pool as much as they possibly could be. San Juan. And this is Kayak Fortaleza. I think I'm saying that right, but it's so beautiful, so many sights to see. We had such a great time in Old San Juan. It is truly a beautiful place to check out. The tips I want to give you about traveling to Old San Juan is that it is very hot and it is a lot of walking. So please dress comfortably. I actually got sunburned this day and I saw a couple other people with sunburn as well. So again, I will recommend that you apply sunscreen and that you reapply the sunscreen, as often as needed. Also, when you're in Old San Juan, please remember to bring your cash, especially if you're going to be shopping for souvenirs or you just want to taste the foods. There are a lot of vendors and a lot of things to check out, but unfortunately, many of them do not accept credit card payments. We were lucky to find very many that did, but again, it's easier if you have cash. So while we were in Old San Juan, we wanted to see so many of the beautiful sights. One of the first places that we checked out was the Castillo San Felipe del Morro. My boys had such a great time. This is a really beautiful castle, a really beautiful historic landmark. Just keep in mind, again, it's a lot of walking, so please wear comfortable shoes. There are a lot of hills as well, not just in the castles, but all throughout Old San Juan. But it is so beautiful. The sights were very, very amazing to see. And I had so much fun exploring all of this stuff with the boys. I definitely recommend that you go here. The cool thing about this castle, as well as the castle of Cristobal, Castillo San Cristobal, is that you get a 2-for-1 admission. So I want to say it's adults 16 and older is $10 and everyone else is free. So it is a lot of walking. There is a huge distance between the first castle that we went to, Castillo San Felipe, and the second castle that we went to. But again, I would totally recommend it. I feel like the views were priceless. We got to see so much of San Juan, and as you can tell from our photos, it was just really an amazing adventure. So Old San Juan is definitely a full day trip. Some of our itinerary got switched around due to travel and also weather. So the one thing that I will tell you is that we had initially planned to only spend a few hours in Old San Juan, but definitely plan to spend the entire day there. There are so many great restaurants, so many things to check out, so many souvenirs. So I would recommend doing as much stuff as you possibly can and spending as much time there as possible. But if this is someone who has any sort of health restrictions or trouble walking long distances, then Old San Juan might not be a place for you to travel on your trip. Also, if you're gonna be going with small children, I would recommend bringing a stroller. We did not bring a stroller for Josiah on this trip, but had I known it was going to be this much walking, this portion of the trip, I definitely would have brought one along for him. He was a trooper though. He stayed with us the entire day. He only got a few piggyback rides and he barely complained. So shout out to JoJo for making it through the entire walking tour of Old San Juan. There are also like tours that you can pay for that will take you to different sites, but there is a center that will give you a map and you can kind of check things out on your own. That's something that we prefer. We didn't want to stay with the group, so we had a much better time being on our own time and just walking around using the map to find our way and to check out all of the cool sites. As I said, my kids love the pool, so we got back to the hotel. They spent the night in the pool. We ate while we were in Old San Juan from one of the restaurants, like the stands that were out there, so the boys weren't very hungry when they got back to the hotel, but they did eat some snacks and hang out by the pool. So on this day, we actually ended up going kayaking at Condado Beach, but unfortunately, my phone fell into the lagoon, so we do not have very many pictures. But as you can see, it is a beautiful beach. This was the section where a lot of people were snorkeling. Josiah got in and he was playing very, very brave. over in this section of the beach. Like I said, unfortunately, we did not get a lot of pictures, but I definitely recommend checking out Condado Beach. A lot of restaurants, a lot of fun stuff to do. This final day, what we thought was our final day, we decided to go see the sunrise on the beach. And again, I definitely recommend doing this with your children. The beach was walking distance, like a 10-minute walk from our hotel, so we were able to walk down and catch the sunrise before we left. And we were gonna just do a few more sightseeing before our flight left that afternoon. So we went to Isla Verde, which is a great place to check out some cool sights as well as some really great restaurants, and La Placita, which is kind of like a central marketplace. We went during the daytime because we definitely wanted to see it, and as you can see, a lot of the places, although the inside market square was open, a lot of the restaurants and things on the outside were actually closed. But our flight ended up getting delayed, so we were able to come back and check it out in the evening. And as you can see, things are very, very lit. Everybody kept telling me that I could take children, and the restaurant that we ended up eating at was kid friendly, family friendly, but it's very much a club party scene. So just keep that in mind as you're, checking out these sights and sounds. But we were able to find an amazing restaurant, which I definitely recommend, again, that you check out, called El Rincon, inside of La Placita. It was amazing. Everything top to bottom, from the food to the drinks, was really, really delicious. Definitely make sure you check them out. This was our final night in Puerto Rico. We ended up taking a red-eye flight back to Philadelphia, and that will be my final tip for you. Make sure that you book a direct flight when you're leaving. Our flight ended up getting delayed due to weather, and because we had a connecting flight, we kept getting bumped from our flight. So it was a very strange experience to have. The solution was to fly direct from Puerto Rico to Philadelphia. It cut our flight time in half. It ended up being like 3.5 hours. And I love red eyes when flying with children because they're asleep on the plane. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my vlog. Check out all of the links and information in the description box below for how you can plan a family-friendly itinerary for San Juan, Puerto Rico. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye.